You know what's funny about that? It reminds me of my teacher of mine I had. His name was Mr. Buckley, and he was one of my favorite teachers growing up. I had him in grade 2, and I had him in grade 4, and he used to tell us these things he called Charlie stories. And we were in grade 2 and grade 4, so we didn't really know any better. But basically, all the stories he told us called Charlie stories were just about him growing
Okay.
up. And he would tell us these stories as like an educational lesson. Like he was like the coolest old guy teacher, like very good, like just the nicest, best teacher you would ever imagine when you picture the perfect teacher. And he would tell you stories, and like everybody respected him and liked him. But he would tell these stories to like teach you life lessons about like this one time when he was a kid, or Charlie was a kid, and Charlie went to the store, and it was like the local store, and he stole a chocolate bar, but he shouldn't have stole a chocolate bar. And then years later, we found out that it was Charlie was Mr. Buckley, and we're like, Mr. Buckley
You
stole
stole?
and all that too. But I remember it was so wholesome just learning this Mr. Buckley.
Aw.
Good guy.
Mr. Charlie.
Who was your favorite teacher growing up? Did you have a favorite teacher ever?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. T.
Mr. T. Nice.
Yeah, I guess I could say his name. It was Mr. Tessier, but
Yeah.
yeah, I had him actually multiple years. Also, it was like I think I had him for grade 4 and 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was hilarious, and like, well, it's funny, same friend. Her and I like went to elementary school together, and throughout the years, we've just like always randomly been out somewhere together where we just happen to look like a lesbian couple, and then run into Mr. T. Like it's just like he's probably really rooting
He
for
just
us.
thinks all these years later, yeah, these guys, these really made it, these girls.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. You
Yeah,
know what's funny?
he was sweet.
My brother is well, actually, before I say that, I was gonna say I had this other one teacher in elementary school. I do have a brother. I had a teacher in elementary school named Mr. Lovies. He was my grade 8 teacher, and I always ripped on him to his face, called Mr. Lovies, because I said he sounded like a diaper brand.
Oh my god, he does. Mr. Lovies, that's so cute.
It's a diaper brand, but so no, my brother, he's a high school teacher now in my hometown, like where I grew up.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he doesn't teach at the high school we went to, but actually our like rivals, like our sport rival that we had when we were in high school, is where he teaches now. But anyways, he's like, he knows like all of our teachers, like our old teachers are like his colleagues now.
That's super weird.
And he was telling one of my old gym teachers, because my brother's a gym and a math teacher. He's telling my old gym teacher he saw him at like a PE day, like a professional development thing, and he was like, yeah. So the teacher literally, he asked about me. He's like, and how's your brother doing? He's like, oh, he's doing well. He's a doctor now, and he's out and whatever. And he was just like, that kid couldn't run a 20-minute mile in less than 30 minutes. I remember he couldn't jump over a pop can. And I was just like, what the fuck? He just started ripping into me, because he was also our football coach. He's like,
What does that have to do with you being a doctor?
The point was, he was just like, couldn't believe it. He's like, no, there's no way. He's like, that kid? He's like, there's no way. And then he just started tearing into me for being fat, basically. He's just
athletic ability to be smart.
It's like the whole time, I could just imagine meeting him now, and it's like I'm listing off all my accomplishments, and it's like, yeah, and I did this. He's like, you're still fat.
Yeah,
bro.
literally, that's still fat though. Like,
Yeah, but you're still
yeah,
heavy,
like,
bro.
Can you fucking lift?
You haven't lost anyway. Actually, that I could do. I was always best at lifting, but like I was the heaviest motherfucker always. I mean, still am, and nothing's changed. Like, so that's
just this size and body like your whole life.
practically. Honestly,
Wow.
I was like, I probably weigh about now what I did in like end of high school. 1 point, I was just a heavy man, but I lifted a lot more in high school because we had 4 years high school, but we had a fitness class and a gym class. So we always like two times a day for 2 hours a day, we were lifting and running, and then I was on football, rugby, and those were my main teams. So we're like always working out. We'd have morning practice. We'd have gym practices.
So you were on the sports teams?
Yeah.
Wait, why is he chirping you then?
Because that's what the coaches did. They ripped on all of us. And plus, I was like, my position in football and in rugby was basically like to be the big guy. Like that was
You're like
I
the
was the big
destroyer.
guy. I was the O-line, and I was the frontline prop in rugby. So I was
Sure.
way better destroyer. Now, why couldn't you be my coach? Like, why didn't they call me things like destroyer instead of be like, hey, fucking Fap, you can
Yeah.
get after it.
I was not any sports teams at all. If you went to my high school, the teachers would be like, who? So it's nice that you were remembered.
Oh, well, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
really good
you
to
know?
peak in high school.
Yeah. High school, I think so many people peak there, and it's sad almost, isn't it? How many how that goes.
Well, especially, I don't know, I'm from a really small town, so
Oh yeah.
I'm like the only one from my graduating class that isn't married with children.
Oh wow.
They're like
How
5
many
years old at this
how many
point.
people went to your school?
Oh God, I don't know. But I mean, I knew everyone in my graduating class. Like,
Okay.
it wasn't like that big.
Yeah, we were close enough. Like we had, I mean, our school was like 1,500 ish, so it was like a reasonable mid-sized school considering our area. But it was like we did know, like our whole year was pretty close. It was cool.
It sounds nice and wholesome.